Hi folks and modelers, back for my final update progress on my CV63 Kitty Hawk 350 scale by trumpeter. So I'm gonna jump in on all the comments and where I took off the last, which was all the jet planes painted but not decal. So, but before I show you the rest of the ship, I'm just gonna tell you that I need to warn you, I've done something a bit, maybe a bit ridiculous, but just let me know if you think it is weird or a bit not really suitable for models. Maybe you can let me know. So this here will be the entire ship. You might see some weird things, which is okay, the thing that what I meant by ridiculous is I've done the C2 Greyhound landing, so it is actually like, you know, supposed to be flying, but I think you'll be able to see that, you know, there is a copper wire holding the plane. So that's the part where what I meant by a bit ridiculous. And there's one F-18 here, which is, you know, which just took off. Maybe from this angle you can't really see the copper wire, but from other side you'll be able to see it. And also the Hawkeye, which just took off. So if I zoom in, you'll be able to see the copper wire there, which I painted in black. So if you think it's weird, just let me know. I can actually take it off because I did not glue it. I just drilled a small hole, stick the copper wire in, and you know, it's not glued. So sometimes it actually moves around a bit. And okay, so I'll jump into the jet planes, some of the updates on my jet planes after I did decal, clear coat, weathering. And while working on the decals, clear coats, and also I've cut up the wings on some of the planes. I've came up with more, you know, additional things which I did on the planes. Like for example, I'll need to hold this for this F14. I've added fuel tanks, and also if you can see the fin at the back, at the bottom actually in red, I've actually cut up plastic cuts to do that. And also on the landing gear, I finally realized why it looks so weird, because the landing gears, for the real landing gears, there was only one strut. So I've added a little bit. Wait, let me just sort of zoom in a bit that you can actually see. I've added another, like a round beam on the landing gear, so now it doesn't look so bad actually. It looks more complete. But if it's just the kit itself, without anything at the bottom, the covers, the fuel tanks, it looks pretty, to me it looks a bit weird. And on the F14s, sorry, not F14, the F4 Phantoms, I've also added some, this one I've added pylons, and This one I have added fuel tank and pylons also. So I've done it differently for, you know, each of the planes. I mean, not every plane looks the same having fuel tanks and pylons. Some have, some doesn't. So, you know. And for this Corsair 2, for this one, I've added fuel tanks and pylons. And I took these fuel tanks from the Hornets. So some of the Hornets will not have fuel tanks or pylons. It depends, you know. So, but it's good to have some variety. And then on Prowler, I've done something also extra, you know, some extra things. It's really difficult to see. Okay, maybe from this angle you can see. I need to have some kind of a background. Yeah, a white background. So you can see that there is a boom holding the wings. I've actually cut it up and folded it, but you can see that there is a boom holding the wings, which is, you know, I've seen the photos of the actual and it does have that. So that boom there is actually is a photo etch railing, which I just cut it into one piece. And to make it easier to attach to the wings, I've actually drilled holes on the wings and the fuselage, so that the railing will just stick in and easier to glue. Otherwise it will be very difficult to just stand there. And on the part of this folded wing part, you can see there's a little bit of there's something like a mechanism, which is also part of the railings, which I cut up and just stick it there, just to make it look a little bit, you know, there's some kind of mechanism there, but it might not be obvious to the naked eye. Actually, I'm zoomed in, so you know, that's why you probably can see it. And then while I'm at the back here, okay, for this this forklift here, I've added something for it to carry. So I had some extra parts which looks like a bomb or a missile. So I've put it on the forklift just to show that it's carrying something. And this is how it looks weathered. And also for the tomcats, I've added some extra decals here, and just to make it look more detailed, I guess. And then on the C2, I've also I cut up 4 of the planes, because one of them is actually landing, so I didn't cut up the wings. And for the C2, I'll just need to pick it up here. I've actually let me zoom in. Okay, so you can see that I've cut it up, and it's not actually a straight line, it's a bit of a zigzag. So I had to cut from the front part and from behind, and then just chop it off. So the actual actually looks like that too. It's not just a straight folding. So that's what I've done extra for the C2. And for most of the Hornets, wait, let me just move this cabinet here. Okay, so I've got it arranged like this, and then if you can see this particular hornet here, if you're able to see that the flaps here, they are actually folded. So I actually cut it and fold it besides the tip of the wing, because most pictures showed that the flaps are down when they are maybe about to take off, or while they are parked there. So I cut it up, and it wasn't easy because I had to take off the tail and then all the bombs again just to get so that I can reach in and cut this part here with a cutter knife. So I've done the flaps on maybe like 5 of these planes here. Not all, I didn't do it for all. So like this one is still straight. Okay, this one is folded. This is folded. And okay, for the one that actually just lift off, it's really shaking. Okay, so for this one, the flaps are actually folded, but it's also folded for the tip of the wing also, because when it's parked, the wings are folded, so I don't think the flaps on the folded wings will be down. So this particular one is folded down. So that's what I have done on all the F-18s. And then I've also got all the equipment decks on here, randomly parked. Some are actually pulling the Hornets. Okay, here, yes, I've also used some railing parts just to make it look like like the hook to pull the plane. So I've parked it this way, and in fact the front part would be having most of the newer planes, and at the rear is all the planes, older planes from 60s to 80s. And okay, so this is how I have arranged it, and the helicopters are here. And all these planes are not, they are not glued onto the deck, so actually I can still just move them around and play around with them. So I didn't want to glue it because I can still do arrangements, if I get bored with this arrangement. And here, okay, I have pulled down 3 elevator decks, and the elevator decks are also not glued, so I can actually move it. For this video, I just pulled it down, so you can see that there's a C2 here being pulled out and ready to go up on the deck. And there's one Hornet here, and there's nothing there. So this is all the planes on the deck. And there's something that I wanted to show, which is okay, if you can see this angle here, this view here. Actually, I got this idea from this photo, which is the actual one of the photos from the ship. You can see that there's one F-18 that just took off, and they are all parked here like this and getting ready to take off from this catapult here. So that's that's how I tried to arrange it. Might not look exactly the same. And in my previous updates, I forgot to inform you about this. If you look at these antenna here, you can see that there's two booms here, sticking through the safety net maybe. So actually, I did that on the model, and maybe it doesn't look too good, but I did drill through the photo etch safety nets and stick in the beams, and also for here, but here I think you can barely see it. So previously I've done that, but I think I didn't show you. So, and then I think that's all on the planes, I guess, what I've done. So now moving on to the ship, I've done a lot of weathering, and I've added a lot of rust to it. I think you can see that there's a lot of these rusty things here. So previously it wasn't there. And why I did it, because when I saw again some of the photos, you can see that it gets very rusty, because I think if the ship is out out in the ocean for like 6 months, I'm sure it will rust, and probably it's difficult to do maintenance while they're out in the open sea. But usually when the ship is back in the bay, it looks cleaner. So on this side also, I have added a lot of rust on the side of the ship. And then previously I didn't have all these antennas painted in white. And the confusing thing is, when I check the photos, sometimes it's in gray, sometimes it's in white. So initially I thought it was gray, so I left it gray. But then when I looked at the color guide, Trumpeter's color guide, it was white. So I had a little bit of a hard time painting these antennas here, because it's already built in. But I did some airbrush, and then later I just touched it up, so it's still okay. And I found some flags, the decal flags from the kit itself, but it was only like this American flag and another one of these blue dotted with the white dotted things. I don't know what flag that is, but there was a few flags, so I stick it up on the flag rails on the island. So I think I'm calling this done, and of course maybe after this I still need to digest this ship. I'll still probably play around with it a bit. It's really fun to just move around the planes, just do a little bit more touch up here and there. It's almost never ending. But today I actually I finished off a lot of the last bits, and I decided to show you this. This thing keeps moving, but if you look at from this angle, it would look good, because it looks like it just took off in that Hawkeye. And there is another thing which I need to show you. That would be the LED inside of the, so I'm gonna switch it on. I have it plugged in there. So that's how it looks. I don't think I've shown with the lights on. This C2 is a little bit, you know, too front, so it's a bit overshadowed, not too clear. But if I move it to the other side, we can get a better view. It's a bit difficult to move this. Okay, so let me go through each of the hanger bays. So that's the F14, F4. Don't know if I can zoom it in. And you will see a prowler in there with the F4, with the Corsair. And like I mentioned in some other videos, I arranged it so that it can be viewed easily from the openings. It might not be the true arrangements, but it is how you can actually view the planes and, you know, some of the equipment decks in there. So I'll just maybe show you in some different colors. Like this is in yellow, in pink, in blue. This is dark blue, in green. So, but I think, yeah, the white would be the best. So, okay, so finally I get to show you with the LED lights on, with the planes in there, planes on the deck. Show you again on the mast. For all the fighter planes, there was so much touch up that I had to do. I keep, you know, weathering, touching it up. Parts keeps falling off. There's so many work to do. The decals, there were a lot of decals, but not too bad. They all stick on easily. No issues with decals, but you might want to be careful with the decals, because if you choose these markings, this red, the stripes for the nose, I don't think there's enough given from trumpeter for them. If you actually choose to have all 12 of the Hornets, to have it in that this decal. But for me, I chose some others to have different markings. There are 3 markings given, so it was enough. For the prowler, there was only 1 marking given. And for the older kits, these additional trumpeter kits which I bought, the decals were pretty simple, less decals, I think. So I did take some of the extra decals to stick it, just to make it look more detailed. Yeah, so I think that's all I have done. And once again, the side of the hull, and just to show you from the top, maybe from this angle you can see the planes taking off. You know, you can't see the copper rails. So it was okay. So it took me about 8 months. I actually started this. Wait, hang on here. Let me just show you. I actually did write down the date. I actually started it on the 2nd of December last year. So today's the 8th of August. So yep, took me about 8 months. And I would say that this is the longest time, the longest time I took to build any model, and also the most expensive, if I include in, you know, photo edge, additional equipment decks, planes, paints. The ship itself is not too expensive. You know, I got it for like maybe 150 US dollars. So it's not that bad. I have some other models which are more expensive, but this ship, when you combine it with all these additional things added to it, it becomes very expensive. So it is the most expensive, the longest time I took to build, and I would say maybe the most interesting, because it's not just a ship. You have to build the planes. There's LED. So it is something something that, yeah, maybe a new achievement for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I guess for my I'm gonna have to start thinking of what is, you know, what I'm gonna be building next. I haven't actually decided, but one of the joys of modeling is not just building it, is also to, you know, to look for models that you're gonna buy, you're gonna build, you know, do research on the subject that you're gonna be building. So probably that would, yeah, also take time to, you know, do a lot of googling on the subjects that I'm gonna be doing next. I don't know if I'll be doing another ship, because this was a ship, and took me 8 months. So I might want to do something else, just to have a change of taste. But I could end up doing a ship. I don't know. I have a few things in mind, but I'm not gonna mention it now, because this is the final chapter on USS Kitty Hawk CV63. So I'll leave that in my maybe some other videos. And until my next, maybe I'll do some previews on what I'm gonna build next. I might bring also some past showcase in case I take too long to decide what I'm gonna be building. I'm not as fast as Peter, Aussie scale modeling. He's really fast. One after another, he just, you know, decides and he builds. So he's good. I follow his channel. So anyway, I think this is it. The video was a bit long, but yep, hope you bear with it. And if you have any comments, please let me know. So I hope you enjoyed this, and happy modeling. Take care, stay safe. Cheers.